السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا بحضراتكم في فيديو جديد. إن شاء الله في الفيديو ده هنحل الهوم ورك نمبر 3 على how to solve equations. خلينا نبدأ سريعا ب question number 1. If a plus b equals negative 2, then what is the a plus b to power 3؟ طبعا زي ما نلاحظ هنا a plus b is given by minus 2 and we need to get a plus b to power 3. So we can replace a plus b with the equivalent value negative 2. Let's write this. A plus b is equal to negative 2. And here we have 2 power 3. Negative 2 times the negative 2 times the negative 2 is negative 8. Question number 2. For what value of n is n minus 4 square equal n plus 4 square؟ طبعا السؤال ده ممكن نحله بطرق مختلفة. Let's see one of them. زي ما شرحنا قبل كده في فيديوهات سابقة. If we have a plus b square, it will be expanded as a square, the first square, plus the second square, plus 2ab. فخلينا نعمل expand للسكوير ده. فالفيرست سكوير it will be equal to n square. Negative 4 square is plus 16, and first times second times 2, it will be n times minus 4 times 2 is negative 8n. وبنفس الطريقة we will expand n plus 4 to power 2, so it will be n square plus 8n plus 16. طبعا لو بصيت هنا هتلاحظ ان احنا عندنا هنا n square وعندنا هنا n square, so we can cancel both of them. So n square with n square and 16 with 16. Can we cancel 8n with negative 8n? لا طبعا ما نقدرش. We cancel only if we have the same value on the both sides. So we can shift 8n to be here. So it will be, we already have negative 8n, and if we shift 8n to this side, it will be also negative 8n. All of this equal to 0. Negative 16n equal to 0. Divide both sides by negative 16, negative 16. So this cancels this, and the value of n is going to be 0 divided by anything is 0. Question number 3, if 1 over a times b over c equals 1, what is the value of b minus a c? طبعا here we have multiplication of two fractions. Let's multiply both of them first. 1 times b is equal to b, and a times c is AC. All of this equal to 1. And as we know, anything can be written over 1. So 1 over 1. Let's cross multiply. B times 1 is B. And this is equal 1 times AC, which is AC. Look at this. What do we need to get? We need to get B minus AC. If you notice here, we can just shift AC to the other side. So B minus AC. The expression we need to get, if you shift AC, we will have nothing. So B minus AC equals 0. Question number 4. If 3x minus 8 equals negative 23, what is the value of 6x minus 7? So we can get the value of x from here and substitute on this expression. So let's shift negative 8 to the other side. So 3x will be equal. We have already here negative 23. And if you shift negative 8, it will be plus 8. So 3x equal negative 23 plus 8, which is negative 15. Divide both sides by 3. So the value of x is negative 5. Once you get the value of x, you can substitute on the given expression here. Replace this x by negative 5. So it will be 6 times negative 5, negative 7, which is negative 30, negative 7. So the answer or the value for this expression is negative 37. The answer is D. Question number 5. If 4 over 9 equals 8 over 3m, what is the value of it? Again, this question also can be done by different ways, but for me, the best and the fastest way is to cancel 8 over 3 in one step, right? We need to get the value of m, so that means we need to eliminate 8 over 3. So how can we cancel or eliminate 8 over 3 in one step? just multiply by both sides by reciprocal of the coefficient, which here is 8/3. So here I just multiply by, what is the reciprocal? Reciprocal means flip the fraction. What is the reciprocal of 8/3? It's going to be 3/8, and multiply here also by 3/8. So this 3 will cancel this 3, and this 8 will cancel this 8. Now we got the value of m, just multiply. And here, by the way, we can simplify 3 with 9. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Then 1 times 1 is 1. And 3 times 2 is 6. So what is the value of m? The value of m is 1/6. Question number 6. If 3x plus 1 equals -8, what is the value of x plus 2 to power 3? Again, get the value of x. So 3x equals -8, -1, 3x equal -9. Divide here by 3 and here by 3, x equals -3. Once you get the value of x equal -3, substitute it here. Instead of x, put -3, so it will be -3 plus 2 to power 3. -3 plus 2 is -1 to power 3. Negative times a negative times a negative is going to be -1. Question number 7. Question number 7, if 4/k plus 2 equals x/3, where k does not equal to -2, what is the value of k in terms of x? So as you see here, we have a fraction equals another fraction, so we can cross multiply. So let's multiply x by k plus 2. So x times k plus 2 equals 4 times 3, which is how much? 12. Now let's expand x by k plus 2. X times k as xk, and x times 2 as 2x. All of this equal to 12. How many terms, guys, do we have in this equation? In this equation, we have 1, 2, 3 terms. And since we need to get the value of k, ask yourself, in how many terms do we have k? Actually, we have k only in one term, which is this one. So isolate this term on one side and shift everything to the other side. So let's shift 2x on this side. So xk equals 12 minus 2x. Good, but we need to get only k. So how to cancel x? Divide both sides by x. Divide here by x and here by x. So this x cancels this x, and you will get the value of k equals how much? Equals 12 minus 2x/x, which is 8. Question number 8, if x minus 3 to power 2 equals 36, and here we have a condition, and the value of x less than 0. What does it mean by x less than 0? It means x is negative value. What is the value of x squared? So let's start by the given equation here, which is x minus 3 squared equal 36. First of all, we need to cancel the square. What would cancel the square? The thing that cancels the square is the square root. So I'm going to take the square root for both sides. Okay, so the square root here cancels the square. You will get x minus 3. What is the square root of 36? Hold for a second and think. What is the square root of 36? Is it only 6? No, it's not only 6. It's plus or minus 6. Because if we have a square root, we have to get the plus and the minus value. That means we will have two equations. The first one is x minus 3 equals 6, and the second one, x minus 3 equals -6. So shift -3 here, it will be 6 plus 3, so x equals 9. Can we take this value? No, this value is refused. Why? Because here it's given that x is negative, x less than 0. Let's do the other one. If you shift -3, so x will be equal -6 plus 3, so x here equals -3, and this will be the answer for this question, since we need the x to be a negative value. Question number 9, we have a formula here, f equals p times whatever the fraction we have. Okay, the formula above gives the future value f of n annuity based on the monthly payment P, the interest rate I, and the number of months is N. Which of the following gives P? So here we need to get P. What does this mean? We need to isolate P on one side in terms of the other variables F, I, and N. So guys, how to cancel P? How to isolate P? How to get P isolated in one side? Do you remember when we said, for example, if we have a fraction and we need to cancel this fraction on one side, in one step, we just multiply it by the reciprocal. For example, if we have 3 equals P times 2 over 5. And we need to get P. So to get P, we have to cancel 2 over 5. So how can we cancel 2 over 5 in one step? Just multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So multiply here by 5 over 2 and here by 5 over 2. So 5 cancels 5 and 2 cancels 2. So you will get P equal this product, which is 15 over 2. How can we apply the same idea here on this formula? Think about this. Yeah, hold on for a second. Bravo. To get P, we need to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, right? So here, I will multiply by the reciprocal, which is I, and here we have 1 plus I to power n minus 1, and I will multiply also the other side by the same fraction. Multiply here by the same fraction, isn't it? So I will cancel I, and all of this will cancel all of this. Then you will get the value of P equal. F is F over 1. So if you multiply F times I, it's going to be Fi. And on the denominator, we still have 1 plus I to power n minus 1. So here, what is the answer? The answer is going to be A. Question number 10, if m over 2n equals 2, what is the value of n over 2m? This is over 1 here, just cross multiply. So you will find that m times 1 is m, and 2 times 2n is 4n. Now we know that the value of 1m is equal to 4n, right? And here we need to get the value of n over 2m. So if you substitute here, we already have n, right? N is n, and we have 2. What is the value of m? The value of m from this equation, we can find that the equivalent value of m is 4n. 4n. If you simplify, it will be n. 2 times 4 is 8n. N cancels n, so the final answer is 1 over 8. Question number 11, if x less than 0, again, it means that the value of x is what? X is negative value. And x squared negative 12 equals 4. What is the value of x? So let's start solving this equation. Shift negative 12 to the other side. So x squared equals 4 plus 12. X squared 4 plus 12 equals 16. Then we need to cancel the square by taking the square root for both sides. The square root would cancel the square, so x equal. Again, what is the square root of 16? Is it only 4? No, it's plus or minus 4. Plus or minus 4. And since here x is negative, so the correct answer is negative 4. Question number 12, if x squared plus 7 equals 21, then what is the value of x squared plus 3? So here it's only in 2 steps. X squared equals 21 minus 7. It means that x squared equals how much? 21 minus 7 is 14. Do we have here to take the square root? Actually, no. Why? Because on the question, we need to get the value of x squared. So you don't have to get the square root, then square it again, since we have to get x squared on the answer. So what is the value of x squared? X squared equals 14, and here we have plus 3. So the final answer is 17. Question number 13, if x is greater than 0, for what real value of x is the equation above true? Let's do it. X squared times x4 is x6. And here x squared times minus 9 is minus 9x squared. And we can shift 8x4 to this side, so it will be how much? Negative 8x4. All of this equal to 0. So guys, this question, it can be done manually using the factoring. And on SAT, digital SAT, you can solve it using Desmos graphing calculator, as we will see right now. Let's write the equation we have. It's x to power x to power 6 negative 9x squared negative 8x to power 4. Then we will just get the x-intercepts. Zoom out to see the shape of the function, if you wanted to see all the function, and you will find that x-intercepts are here. We have three x-intercepts, which are -3, 0, and 3. So the three values of x we got is x equal -3, and x equal 0, and x equal 3. And since here x is positive, x greater than 0, we will refuse these both values, and the only accepted value is x equal to 3. Question number 14. 2 times square root of x plus 4 over 3 equals 6. And x is positive, x greater than 0. What is the value of x? So here, guys, what do you think? What is the first step we should do here? We can start by cross multiply. So here we will get 1 times 2 times 2 square root of x plus 4. So 2 square root of x plus 4 equal 6 times 3, which is 18. Then we can cancel this 2 by dividing both sides by 2. So the square root of x plus 4 equals 18 over 2 is 9. This is very good. Now we need to cancel the square root. What would cancel the square root? Bravo, the square. So we will square both sides. Here we will get x plus 4, and 9 squared is 81. So x is how much? 81 minus 4. The value of x equal 77. Question number 15. If x is positive, x here is positive, x is positive greater than 0. For what value of x is this equation above true? So guys, as we said in the previous session, whenever we have a fraction, start by canceling this fraction. What fraction do we have here? We have a fraction of 2 over 3. What would cancel this fraction if you multiply the whole equation by the denominator? What is the denominator here? The denominator is 3. So I'm going to multiply here by 3, here by 3, here by 3, and here by 3. 3 times 20 is 60. And 3 times square root x is -3 square root x. And this 3 cancels this 3. You will get 2 square root of x plus 10 times 3 is how much? 30. This is very good. Let's get the like terms on one side. Here we have 2 square root x, and here we have -3 square root x. So I'm going to shift this to the side to have the square roots together. So 2 square root x, if you shift -3, it will be how much? Plus 3 square root x. And let's shift the 3 to the side. It will be -30. 60 -30. 2 square root x plus 3 square root x. This is very easy, guys. These are like terms. If you have 2 apples plus 3 apples, so the answer is 5. But here there is no apples, it's only square root x. And 60 minus 30 is 30. Now, can we cancel 5? Yes, very easy, by dividing both sides by 5. This cancel this. You will get the square root of x equals how much? 30 over 5 is 6. We need only to cancel the square root. As we did in the previous example, what would cancel the square root? Bravo, the square. So let's square both sides. This one is going to be x, and 6 squared is 36. So the answer for this question is 36. Question number 16. If 8 plus 5x is twice x minus 5, what is the value of x? Guys, please put this in your head. Is means what? Means equal. Okay? And here it's given that 8 plus 5x, 8 plus 5x, 8 plus 5x is, as we said, is means equal. What does it mean by twice? Twice means double or times 2 of what? Of x minus 5. This is the equation. We just need to solve the equation to get the value of x. 8 plus 5x equal 2 times x is 2x, negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. Get x's together. Here we have 5x, shift to x, it will be negative 2x. And here we have negative 10, shift 8, it will be negative 8. 5 minus 2 is 3x, negative 10, negative 8 is negative 18. Divide both sides by 3. So the value of x is negative 18 divided by 3 is 6. So the answer here is negative 6. Question number 17, if x over 6 equal x plus 12 over 42, what is the value of 6 over x? Again, we will cross multiply. If you cross multiply here, x plus 12 times 6, it will be 6 times x plus 12. And here we have 42 times x. Isn't it? 6 times x, how much? 6x. And 6 times the 12 is 72. All of this equal 42x. Shift x's together. Here we have 42x. If you shift 6x, it will be negative 6x. And here we have 72. 42 minus 6 is 36x. All of this equals 72. Divide both sides by 6. By 36, sorry. So here by 36, so x equal how much? 72 divided by 36 is 2. So the value of x equals 2. Let's see this example. We have a formula d equals a times c plus 1 over 24. Okay. We don't know what is the use of this formula, but in the question, if you read, you will understand what each variable represent. So we don't know what does D represent, what does A represent, what does C represent. But by reading the question, you will be able to understand what is exactly meaning by each variable. So doctors using Cowling's rule, so this rule is called Cowling's rule, shown above to determine the right dosage D. So here we know now that what is D? D is the dosage, and in which unit? In milligrams of what? Of medication for a child. So D here represents the dosage or right dosage in milligrams of medication for a child. Based on what? Based on the adult dosage A. So A represents the adult dosage, and D represents the dosage for what? For child. And the child's age is C. And C here, what does it represent? It represents the child's age in years. Ben is a patient who in need for a certain medication. If doctor uses Cowling's rule to prescribe Ben a dosage that is half the adult, right? So now the right dosage will be how much? Half the adult. What is the right dosage? D. So the given here is D equals how much? Half the adults. This is the given. And from this information, what is Bain's age? We need to try to get the age. And what was the age? Age is C. Good. So here we know that D equals half A. We need to get the C. Can you see, guys, the formula or the equation we have here? Do we have the value of D? Can you see? Yes, we have the value of D equals how much? Half A. So I'm going to replace this D by half A. So it's going to be half A equals, we have here A and C plus 1 over 24. Look at this. Can we cancel this A with this A? Yes, divide both of them by A. You will have half equal c plus 1 over 24. And this is very simple equation. You can solve it to get the value of c. Cross multiplication, you will find 2 times c plus 1 equals 24 times 1, which is 24. 2 times c is 2c plus 2 times 1 is 2 equals 24. 2c plus 2 equal 24. Shift 2 to the other side. 2c is 22. Divide here by 2 and here by 2. c equals 11. So the answer for this question is c equals 11. Question number 19. If 3 times x minus 2y minus 3z equals 0, which of the following expresses x in terms of y and z? Again, we need to isolate x. So let's multiply. 3 times x is 3x, negative 3 times 2 is 6y, negative 3z, all of this equal to 0. Good. Since we need to isolate x, which term here includes x? Only this. So everything shift to the other side. Bring down 3x and shift negative 6y, it will be 6y. Negative 3z, it will be plus 3z. And here 3x. All right. So we need to get x. So just divide the whole equation by how much? By 3. So this cancel this, and here we have x. Can we distribute? Yes, we can distribute. So it will be 6y over 3 plus 3z over 3. X equals 6 over 3 is 2, and plus 3, cancel the 3. Here we will get z. So the value of x is 2y plus z, which is answer number B. Question number 20. xy squared plus x negative y squared negative 1 equals 0. If the equation above is true for all real values of y, what must the value of x be? Here it's a given that this equation above is true for all real values of y. Yani whatever the value of y, the value of this equation is true. That means we can put the value of y by any number, isn't it? Because it's a given that the equation is true. It works for any real value of y. What is the easiest value for y we can put here? Actually, we can put y equals 1. We can put y equals 0. So if you put y equals 0, you will get here, if you put y here equals 0, this term will be canceled, and you will get x. And if you put here y equals 0, it will be canceled, and we still have negative 1 equal to 0. So x equals to how much? X equals to 1. All right. But do we have another way to solve? This is the first way I have used. Do we have another way, more detailed, to solve this question? Yes. If you look at this equation here, we can solve it by factoring. But which type of factoring? It's called factoring by distribution. Look at the first two terms, which is xy squared plus x. Do we have a common factor? Yes. What is the common factor only between these two terms? Between these two terms, we have x as a common factor, isn't it? So you will get y squared plus 1. And on the other two terms, which are negative y squared, negative 1, we can take the negative as a common factor. And I will tell you why. If you take negative as a common factor, this one is going to be y squared plus 1. Do you know why did I take the negative as a common factor here? Because in the first two terms, I got y squared plus 1 as a common factor. So I need to get another y squared plus 1 as a common factor. Look at this two terms. We have now y squared plus 1 as a common factor. So if you take it as a common factor, it will be y squared plus 1. Divide. If you divide this by y squared plus 1, those will be canceled. Y squared plus 1 with y squared plus 1, and you still have only x. And here we have negative. This divided by this is equal to 1. All of this equal to 0. That means y squared plus 1 equal to 0. I don't care about the value of y. And here, if you shift y squared equals negative 1, I'm not going to continue here because it will be an imaginary number. And if you're at x minus 1 equal to 0, so the value of x is equal to 1, which is the same value we got it here from the first solution. So this is the first solution, and this is the second solution for this question. Let's see. The question from 21 to 22 refers to the following. Here we have a question from physics. And again, if you see such question, please don't freak out because everything will be explained. What do we need only? We need only this formula, and we need to understand what is representing by M1, M2, G, mu, and E. So here we have a mass connected with another mass, and here we have a poly. Let's read this story. In the figure above, two objects are connected by string, which is threaded through a poly. Here, as we said, using its weight, object 2 moves object 1 along a flat surface. The acceleration. So this is the first thing we need to understand. What does A represent? A represents acceleration. All right? All right. Of two objects can be determined by the following. Okay, we need this following, which is this formula. A equals M2 times G minus mu M1 times G over M1 plus M2. What we only know till now that the value of A is the acceleration. Where? This is very important. Where M1 and M2, M1 and M2 are masses of object 1 and object 2 respectively. So what does M1 represent? M1, which is here, and M2, which is here. M1 and M2 are the masses for the two objects. And G, as you know, guys, is acceleration due to the Earth's gravity. And G here represents the gravity or the acceleration due Earth gravity in meter per second square. And the mu, what does mu represent? Mu is a constant known as the coefficient of friction, معامل الاحتكاك. Here, mu is the coefficient of friction. Guys, look, from this long story, actually, we don't need anything. We just need to understand the formula and what each variable in the formula represent. Let's see question number 1. Question number 1, which is 21, which of the following expresses mu in the terms of the other variables? So we have here this equation, and we need from this equation to isolate mu. Let's see how can we do it. Let's take this equation here. You have this equation, and you need to isolate mu. We need to get mu separated on one side. We will start by cross multiplication. And here, if you multiply, it will be A times M1 plus M2. A times M1 plus M2. And one times the other, it will be the same, which is M2G minus mu M1G. We need to isolate mu. Can you see, guys? Here we need to isolate mu. In how many terms do we have mu? Actually, we have mu in only one term, right? In only this term. Do we need to multiply this by this? It's correct if you multiply. But if you have a look on the choices, all the choices, A is not multiplied by the bracket. So you don't have to expand the bracket. So keep it for now. And we can shift this negative to this side to be positive. And I can shift this here because I need to isolate mu. So if you shift this one, it will be mu M1G equal M2G negative, shift the whole expression here, which is A M1 plus M2. Then we need to get mu, just divide here by M1G and divide here also by how much? By M1G. This cancel this, and the answer is going to be mu equal M2G negative A M1 plus M2 over m1g. So what is the correct answer here? The correct answer is C. m2g minus am1 plus m2 over m1g. Good. Let's see question number 22, and it also refers to the same information. Okay, here we have the formula, the same formula. We are working on the same formula. And let's see. If the masses of both objects 1 and object 2 were doubled. So M1 new is equal to M1, okay? And M2 new, as it will be mentioned now, let's see. The masses of both objects 1 and object 2 were doubled, equals how much? 2m2. How this, or how would the acceleration of the two objects will be affected by this change? Let's see. We are going to substitute to get a new, the new acceleration, okay? And instead of m2, we will have 2m2, isn't it? And we already have g, negative mu. And instead of m1, we will have 2m1. And here, there is no change with g. And in the denominator, we have m1 and m2. So it will be 2m1 plus 2m2. So the new acceleration, let's try to simplify to compare it with the original acceleration. Where is the original acceleration? It's here. And this is the new acceleration. If you look in this term and in this term, we have 2, and here we have 2. So we can take 2 as a common factor. So if you take 2 as a common factor, it will be 2 times m2g negative mu m1g. And on the denominator also we have 2, so we can take 2 as a common factor. It will be m1 plus m2. Cancel this with this, and the new acceleration, if you notice, it will be m2g minus mu m1g over m1 plus m2. Look at this. Do we have any change in the acceleration? Is the acceleration would stay the same, would be halved, would be doubled, or would be quadrupled? As you see, guys, there is no change or no any change in the acceleration. So the correct answer, if you double both objects 1 and 2, the acceleration would stay the same. It would not be affected. Let's see the last two questions in this homework. Questions 23, 24 refers to the following information. V equal P times 1 minus R to power T. The value, what does it represent? We need to understand what does each variable represent. As mentioned here, V is the value of the car. So V is the value of the car, and T here over T years. So T represents the years. And what is P? P is the original price. P is the principal or the original price, and R is the annual rate of depreciation. Good. Which of the following expresses R? We need to isolate to express R in terms of V, P, and T. Let's start. How to isolate R? R, it's inside a brackets, and here we have a power. We have also P outside. So let's start by canceling P. How to cancel P? Divide here by P and divide here by P. This, cancel this. So V over P equals how much? 1 minus R to power of T. How can we cancel the power? As we said before, if you want to cancel the power, take the root with the same power. So I'm going to take here what the root. What is it? The square root, the cubic root? I don't know. We will take T root, isn't it? So here we will take the root or the T root. T will be canceled, and you will get that 1 minus R is equal T root V over P. We need again to isolate R, so shift minus R to this side. It will be positive R. And shift this radical to this side. It will be negative T root 4V over B. What is the answer here? The answer is A. The last question. If a car depreciates to a value, okay, so the new value, what is the new value? The new value equal to half its original value, half the original value. And if you go back to the formula, the original value is given, or the original price is given by P. So the new V equals half the original price. After how many years? After when T equals 5. Which of the following is closest? Means approximately to car's annual rate of depreciation. So we need to get R. Let's substitute in the formula we have. This is the formula we have here. What is V new? V new equals half P, half original price. And here we have P, 1 minus R. We need to get R. And what's T? T is, as you see, T is 5. So we need to solve this equation to get the value of R. As you see, P cancels P. So you still have what? You still have half equal 1 minus R to power 5. How can we cancel the 5, the power of 5? By the fifth radical. So this will cancel this. You will get 1 minus R. And you can do this by calculator. So it will be how much? Or you can even do it on Desmos. This is Desmos. Click on the functions and go for the nth radical. We need to get the fifth radical of how much? Of half, which is 0.87. Negative R to this side, it will be R, and here we have 1 minus 0.87. So the value of R is how much? 0.30 approximately. And this is the answer for the last question. شكرا. وإذا وصلت إلى نهاية الحلقة أتمنى تكون استفدت معايا، وإن شاء الله هتلاقي في الديسكريبشن السوليوشن as a PDF. أتمنى تكون كانت حلقة مفيدة، وانتظركم إن شاء الله في حلقات قادمة. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.